Hey everybody, you are going to hear the gorgeous vocal stylings of local singer-songwriter Jessica Healey today. But before we get to it, Jess is going to talk to us about some exciting updates that she has going on. Jess, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. We were talking off camera about how you went to a pretty prestigious program right around Central Texas. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your journey into music?
Yes, so I went to Texas State and studied acting. Came to Austin during the pandemic and actually went into a sales job. Didn't do acting, everything was shut down. Got laid off in November and just started pursuing music full time. I've been a singer-songwriter my whole life, but it felt like the time to really dive in and give it a go. And the live music scene here has been really welcoming and encouraging. So with their support, I've made it. I'm doing it full time.
Second time I've heard that there is wonderful support in the Austin music community today. I'm really glad to hear it because especially when we've got young artists like you who are on their way to the top, we want to make sure we continue to encourage you on your way. I have to ask though, when I hear singer-songwriter that you've been doing it a long time, I bet there's a 7-year-old version of you that was starting to put pen to paper.
Oh boy, there was a 4-year-old version of me with
Really?
very limited vocabulary, you know, the flowers bloom, like dumb stuff. But yeah, and then Taylor Swift and then Sarah Bareilles, there's been musical influences along the way that just kept me excited and would, you know, reinvigorate my my desire to write awesome songs and like be like them. So.
Oh yeah, and it's been a good era for female singer-songwriters, right?
Yeah,
So,
it has been.
Yeah, some really, really great people to look up to. So are those artists who kind of inspire you? What kind of style are you drawn to?
Not so much anymore. Sarah Bareilles is lyrically great. I'd say Phoebe Bridgers, Madison Cunningham, huge influence. They're indie rock styles, and then some influence of jazz because I've been getting into the jazz scene here, and so yeah, bring all of those together.
I could see some of those like confluencing together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of those pop melodies, but some of the jazz as well.
Totally.
Because listening to your stuff, I think it sounds like one of its kind, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Before we move on, though, I did also want to ask about the singer-songwriter in you. What made you switch from acting? What are these two different strands?
Totally. Well, they're, you know, sort of adjacent to each other. I mean, I've been singing and songwriting longer than I've been in theater. And there's something so personal and cathartic about it that's my own. When you're acting, it's someone else's blocking, someone else's line, someone else's story that you're telling. So it feels more executive. Whereas this is my baby from the very beginning, its inception, all the way to the final execution. And there's something about that allows it to be more true to my message.
Absolutely. And of course you do original work, but you also do a lot of really wonderful cover music. Do you feel like you get to inject your own personality when you get to do some of these big songs that have been around a long time?
Sure, yeah, and that actually probably feels more similar to acting, where it's taking somebody else's words, but changing the delivery to however it feels, you know, the most honest in that moment. And trying to stay authentic to the message of the song and the feel of the song while also making it my own. So.
Absolutely. So there are so many different ways to catch performances from you because you perform with full bands, you perform in trios, you perform just you. So talk to me about kind of all those different options.
Yeah, so I perform a lot of stuff solo. And I have a band that will be accompanying me with my originals. I have a few dates coming up in August, one at the Mohawk, one at Show Me Pizza, one at the White Horse, so that's exciting. And then my jazz band does perform at both the Elephant Room and then also Monk's Jazz Club. So yeah, there's lots of different ways to see me. Hopefully something for everybody.
A different way to get plugged in with you.
Sure.
And when you start to sit down and do, you know, the process of crafting a song, what are you thinking about at that time? I told you, I'm not creative. It's very foreign to me.
Totally. Such a loaded question, of course. Every song is different, actually. This one is probably one of my favorite songs. And this is a more common method for me, which is I have a feeling and it's discomfort. It's not usually a positive feeling and it needs to be processed. And the way to do that is to try and sit down and, you know, a few key phrases will come to mind. And then through that, yeah, just expanding, describing the feeling. And from there, it gets distilled down and kind of refined to hopefully a clear message through the lyrics.
Well, and so I don't want to put words in your mouth, but is it every time the words come first?
Every time.
Is it?
Every time. I play guitar as a means to an end, no shade on guitar, but I'm such a lyricist and singer who uses this as a way to get my songs out. I've never been drawn particularly to guitar.
But I will say you're a wonderful guitar player.
Thank you.
I've got to give her as many compliments as I can while she's here in the studio because you sound amazing.
Thank you.
And I just want to make sure before we get to you performing one of your singles that we talk about the fact that you're dropping singles in the next couple of months.
Yes, I'm so excited. I have 2 out right now, but the next 3 I think are the best songs I've written. Hopefully I can keep saying that moving forward, but they're so honest and they're a little bit, I think a little bit more complex of ideas. And musically, I just think they're great. So I have one coming out August 1st. That'll be this one that I'm about to play. One on August 22nd and another on September 19th.
It's all coming up.
Yep.
All right. I'm excited to see what's next for you, Jess.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Rosie.
much.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. Learn more about the artist at JessicaKHealey.com and follow along on Instagram. Same thing, Jessica K. Healey. Jess is now going to play us out to break with an excerpt from her new song. That's the one dropping on August 1st, an original song called Dumb Enough.
Most exciting is the space between, addicted to pining. I don't wanna know I can breathe, so I'll make a floor out of my ceiling. God forbid I